What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today is not really going to be much of a real saturation or content into gaming or any other things like that. Today's just going to be kind of discussing or me just talking about what's been going on with me. I don't have a script or anything. I'm just kind of winging this. So, to kind of explain my sporadic postings and the lack of consistency is simply, well, I say simply, it's really not. I've kind of narrowed it down to, I think I've recently figured out what's been going on. And this is going to continue with this sporadic postings and stuff and inconsistencies. I when I was younger, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and not the like hyper side, like what everybody would think. Where you're all bouncing all off the walls and everything like that. It's not like that. It's literally just basically all the negative outcomes. You know what I mean? So my process of being able to think and stuff like that is really being messed with pretty bad. I I deal with a lot of you know cloudy mind. I don't have mental clearness. It's kind of really, I've been struggling a lot with it. I've only recently thought that this is the problem because I did some researching into it, and a lot of the symptoms are that I'm having, which that's not it. I've got a lot of symptoms. Um, is consistent with that falls under ADHD, which kind of makes sense to me if I'm trying to put the dots together, because I've been basically not treating it for well over a decade now, uh, which kind of makes sense because each year progressively I've noticed kind of gets worse and worse and worse. So this is not for sure 100% that's what the problem is. I'm thinking that that's what the problem is. I do need to see about going and visiting a doctor first to confirm a diagnosis before that's the case. Which also, speaking of doctors, kind of leads me into the second topic, which is, they're expensive. And at the moment, I'm unemployed. I've been unemployed for the last 2 months, which should have been the most perfect time for me to create content. But every time I sit down at my computer, it's I just draw a blank, or I lose my motivation to want to play a game. Uh, Things that I've had plenty of time to make great content, but I've just could not come up with any, nor did I have the motivation to. I'm hoping that this year is the year that I kind of get that fixed and get that situated and be consistent and create that good content and give you guys something to enjoy. But for the time being, that's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to continue to be sporadic. Like my gameplay here is just literally me just hopping into some random DayZ server just because I didn't even feel like playing a game, or hopping into the server that I had anything already kind of built up because I didn't want to have to worry about, making it back to base or making it to a safe zone or whatever it be. I just don't have that motivation. Now, I've been playing a lot of games, but even that's been sporadic. It's like, okay, I play this game for 20, 30 minutes, and I set it down. And I want to play something else. And do that. And then it gets to the point where I'm like, well, I don't even want to play video games. And I go outside. I'll sit on my four-wheeler. I'll ride the four-wheeler around the yard. And then I get bored of that because I want to go, now that I'm on a four-wheeler, I want to go on a big four-wheeler ride. But nobody can because guess what? They're at work. I'm unemployed, unfortunately. So it's just been a lot of lack of motivation in doing things and taking care of stuff I should be taking care of like I used to be. I used to be on top of stuff. If you look back, 6 years ago, um, when it came to doing stuff I needed to do, I got it done. No hesitation. Well, mostly. We'll just say mostly no hesitation. But it's just, now it's just, I don't want to do nothing. It's like I feel like I'm just sitting here rotting well, not literally, but like my brain mentally is just sitting here rotting away, and I have no control at the moment to get it taken care of. I've looked into those free clinics. There's not really anything for me nearby, because that's going to be another thing is traveling. I don't really have the ability to travel at the moment to go look at one of these free places or clinics. But I am currently looking to hopefully get some employment so I can get some insurance, and then I will be actually going to a real doctor per se. But this is me just kind of this is just kind of like a summary of what's going on. It's like I said, I'm kind of just winging this video. There's not really I'd like to go into detail, but again, it's kind of hard for me to go into. It's the thought process of being able to make a detailed video of what's going on is really a struggle. But hopefully you guys can just bear with me. I will get there. I will get more consistent. I will provide better content. That is going to be my goal. But in other news, I do want to mention that there's a couple different avenues of things in life I want to do. YouTube is definitely 100% still a thing I want to continue doing. That's really my long-term thing, is I want this to be my career eventually. And I know at the rate that I'm going right now is not a very good rate, but something is better than nothing. Another thing I'm looking at doing is I'm strongly considering starting my own tire business, doing tires on semi-trucks. I know the work side of things. The business side is something I'm going to learn. Again, this is going to fall back on this, the issues I'm having to be able to learn how to run the business and run it properly. But I was thinking maybe that's something I could do. I've said that this is something I'm going to do, but still at the moment I don't even know if I really want to, because like I said, I know that line of work. I just don't know the business side of things. But the problem is I've got to get money to get tools, to get my truck. There's some problems it needs to have fixed up before I can really put it to work. I mean, I could probably put it to work as is, but I wouldn't want to continue keeping it at work, because I've got the two trucks. I got the blue extended cab Dodge, and I got my maroon Dodge. The extended cab one is going to be the one I make a service truck if I actually follow through with that plan. So yeah, it's going to cost money to get set up and to get inventory of doing tires. Semi-truck tires are not really the cheapest, but I'm not going to start with brand new tires because I'm not going to afford that. But I've got to get my impacts, tire bars, air compressor, lift, jack, all that stuff. So maybe one day. We'll see how it goes. And I'm going to be doing a roadside only service on that. I will not have a shop. But yeah, that's one of the avenues. Another thing I want to do is when it comes to content creation for you guys, I also would like to eventually get to the point where I can get a better machine to go trail riding with, and some cameras, so that way I can bring you guys along basically to see some of these trails I ride on, because some of these trails, I'm telling you, they're not like you're out here in Oklahoma where it's mainly flat ground. I live up here, around the Ozark Mountains, so there's some good trails. There's some beautiful, breathtaking views, honestly, that I would love to share. Lots of little creeks, lots of little trails, good views of far away. Eventually, that's something I want to do. I don't know if I want to put that on this channel or if I'm going to need to create another channel. That's going to be something, we'll discuss that in the future. I will bring you guys into that for sure, see what you think, what we should do. And, yeah. So, this is me kind of just, saying sorry. am not doing as good as I could be doing. But I am promising that eventually, I can't give a time frame, but eventually I will get better, and I will provide you guys with entertaining content. But until then, guys, man, it's good to see y'all still hanging around. See y'all pop in from time to time. It's good to see, and we'll see y'all in the next adventure. We'll see y'all later. Peace out.